Hello, welcome to today's math class. Today we have this challenge before us. The question is bracket open 1 all over 2, bracket close, all raised to the power of 2 all over 5. How do we evaluate this without the use of the calculator? It is easy. Okay, so let's take a solution here. We have the solution. All right, the question is, we have our 1 all over 2, all raised to the power of 2 all over 5. All we just need to do is to rewrite this power we have here. We can split this power, right? Yeah, we can split this. According to the law of indices, which says that if you have your p to the power of your m, n, this is equal to your p all raised to the power of your m in bracket your n. Okay, so these two here, we want to separate it out so that we'll be left with the fraction here, which is 1 all over 5. Okay, so doing that, this is going to give us 1 all over 2, all raised to the power of 2 in a square bracket raised to 1 all over 5. We can distribute this power here among the quantity we have inside this inner bracket, right? Good. In other words, we can write this as 1 to the power of 2 all over 2 to the power of 2. Okay? Apply the simple law of indices, which says that if you have your p all over your q all raised to the power of your n, this is equal to p to the power of your n all over q to the power of your n. Right? So with that, this is going to give us something of this. So we're going to have 1 to the power of 2 all over 2 to the power of 2 all raised to the power of 1 all over 5. We know for sure that 1 to the power of anything will give us 1, right? So 1 to the power of 2 will give us 1. So we'll have this to be 1 all over 2 to the power of 2 will give us 4 all raised to the power of 1 all over 5. Again, yeah, we're going to apply this rule again. So from here, this is going to give us here the fifth root of 1 all over the fifth root of our 4. Right. Again, we are going to have this to be 1. So this numerator gives us 1 all over the fifth root of our 4. Can we get the fifth root of 4? That will give us some fraction, right? So if we rationalize the denominator here, we're going to come up with the fifth root of 4 all over the fifth root of 16. Okay? And if we do that, yes, so we're going to manipulate it again to lead us back to where we're coming from. So we apply another rule here again, which says that if you have your, let's take our 1 all over your nth root of x, okay, nth root of x, so this is equal to, yeah, we're going to have this to be your nth root of your x raised to n minus 1 all over the nth root of your x all raised to n minus 1. Okay, so what does that imply? We're going to multiply these by 1. So if we multiply these by 1, so this comes into play. And so this is going to give us here, we're going to have this to be your 1 all over your fifth root of 4 times your fifth root, let's take it here, fifth root of your 4 raised to 5 minus 1 all over your fifth root of your 4 all raised to 5 minus 1. Okay, so let's continue here. So this is going to give us here, this is equal to 1 all over the fifth root of our 4 times 4 raised to 5 minus 1. So 5 minus 1 will give us 4. So this is going to give us the fifth root of our 4 raised to power 4 all over this other side. We're going to have the same thing too, which is the fifth root of our 4 raised to power 4. So we can multiply this together. So this will give us here the fifth root of our 4 to the power of 4. Then all over here we're going to have the fifth root, because this is root, this is fifth root rather. So we can take one of them and then multiply the content inside of this. Now look at this. The bases are the same here. Here we have to the power of 1. So the law of indices which says that if you have your a to the power of your m, then times your a to the power of your n, this is equal to your a to the power of your m, there plus n. We can apply that here. If we do that, this is going to give us here the fifth root of your 4 to the power of your 4, then all over here we have fifth root of your 4 to the power of 5. So what happened? These we go with this. So we are now end up with our fifth root of our 4 to the power of 4, then all over 4. Now look at this. So what we do here now is to look for the value of 4 to the power of 4. 4 to the power of 4 is 4 times 4 times 4 into 4 places, right? And so this is going to give us the fifth root of 2, 5, 6, all over our 4. Now we just think of splitting 2, 5, 6 into a number that can give us fifth power, then times another number to give us this 2, 5, 6. And that is our 8 times 32. Okay, so rewriting this is going to give us the fifth root of our 8 times 32. Okay, all over our 4. So this is equal to, this we can write as the fifth root of 8 times the fifth root of 32, then everything all over 4. This could be expressed as 2 to the power of 5. And so this will end up giving us our fifth root of our 8, then times our fifth root of 2 to the power of 5. Everything all over 4. And so these will go with this. So end up having 2 times the fifth root of our 8 all over 4. So 2 here, 1, 2 here will give us 2. So we end up having, let's put it here, so we end up having our fifth root of 8 all over 2. So therefore we can conclude by saying that therefore our 1 all over 2 all raised to the power of 2 all over 5 is equal to the fifth root of our 8 all over 2. So this is the simplest form we can simplify this. So this brings us to the end of this math class. If you learned something from this video, drop it in the comment section. You have a question with regards to this challenge, leave it in the comment section. Meet you in the comment section. Till then, keep winning. I'll come your way next class. Bye for now.